In 2019, Finland and Estonia launched an ambitious project plan to build an undersea tunnel in the Gulf of Finland connecting the two countries. This tunnel is not only 103 kilometers long, but in some areas, it also reaches 200 meters deep into the seabed. This is undoubtedly the pinnacle of modern engineering technology. At that time, Finland and Estonia decided to cooperate with Chinese companies, hoping to use China's rich experience and advanced technology in this field to complete the project. Regrettably, this win-win cooperation was eventually terminated due to the political interference of the United States. Now, 4 years have passed, but the Gulf of Finland undersea tunnel project still remains on paper without any substantial progress. Recently, Finland appears to be reassessing this decision. According to reports, the Finnish government is actively exploring the possibility of resuming cooperation with China, hoping to promote this stalled project through China's support. So, why did the United States obstruct China's participation in this important project? Now, will China assist Finland and Estonia in completing this ambitious project? Finland and Estonia are located on the Baltic Sea coast. Although the two countries are only 82 kilometers apart, the wide waters of the Gulf of Finland constitute a natural obstacle to transportation between them. It is understood that there are two main ways to travel from Tallinn, the capital of Estonia, to Helsinki, the capital of Finland. If they choose the land route, travelers will need to detour more than 800 kilometers, which is not only time-consuming but also increases the cost of travel. On the other hand, though, taking a ship is more direct. But navigating the volatile and sometimes violent Gulf of Finland is no easy task. Particularly in the winter, freezing weather and rough waves make sea travel more difficult and unpredictable. It is understood that for approximately 120 days each year, sea travel becomes extremely difficult and sometimes impossible due to adverse weather conditions. Such geographical and climatic conditions undoubtedly bring challenges to economic exchanges and personnel exchanges between the two countries. In fact, Finland's predicament is similar to that of Britain in history to a certain extent. In the past, due to the special geographical location of the UK, exchanges with the European continent were relatively limited. However, after the opening of the English Channel Cross-Sea Tunnel in 1994, the United Kingdom successfully built a bridge with the European continent and achieved an economic leap. This success story provides Finland with new plans. So Finland also began to imitate the United Kingdom and announced in 2019 that it would invest tens of billions of dollars to build a 103-kilometer-long undersea tunnel. As far as I know, this undersea tunnel is called the Helsinki-Tallinn Tunnel. It starts from Helsinki, the capital of Finland, and ends in Tallinn, the capital of Estonia. According to the plan, the total length of the undersea tunnel in the Gulf of Finland is approximately 103 kilometers, of which the length of the underwater part is between 50 and 70 kilometers. The total project investment is as high as $17 billion. Once the tunnel is completed, it will not only surpass the Channel Tunnel to become the longest undersea tunnel in Europe, but also the longest undersea tunnel in the world. It is worth mentioning that this undersea tunnel is specially designed for trains, which means that in the future, passengers from the two countries can take trains to cross the seabed and experience generally fast and comfortable travel. At the same time, the construction of this tunnel can shorten the travel time for residents of the two places from 2 hours to 20 minutes. In order to ensure the stability and safety of the tunnel, engineers also included the construction of a beautiful artificial island in the design of the project. But who is the most suitable person to build such an important project? Between 2014 and 2019, China undertook many large-scale projects in Europe through the Belt and Road Initiative. It also helped Serbia build the Zemunborka Bridge. The bridge was successfully completed in less than 2 years. And almost at the same time, Chinese companies also participated in the construction of the Brela-Danube Bridge in Romania, which was completed in just 3 years. The rapid completion of the two bridges not only demonstrated the high efficiency of China's infrastructure, but also won widespread praise as their quality passed strict European standards review. Perhaps it was the speed and quality of China's infrastructure that impressed Finland, prompting them to choose China to build this $17 billion undersea tunnel. But unexpectedly, a few months after the two sides signed the agreement, Finland suddenly announced that it would reject China's participation in its major infrastructure projects. What's the reason behind this? In 2019, a series of U.S. media reports suddenly increased. They raised issues such as debt trap and charge deadline in the name of national security, trying to influence the policy decisions of Finland and Estonia. Despite external pressure, the Finnish government at the time firmly pushed the project forward in order to achieve the early completion of the Helsinki-Tallinn tunnel. In order to get Finland to change its position, the United States announced an ambitious aid plan on December 24, 2019, providing up to $175 million in funds to Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania to enhance the national security capabilities of these countries. This huge amount of money has undoubtedly brought great temptation to the Finnish government, making it hesitant when it comes to cooperation with China. This makes us wonder, why is the United States willing to pay such a high price to prevent China from building this undersea tunnel? We all know that the United States has always regarded Europe as its sphere of influence and remains highly alert to any country that may challenge its status. China's infrastructure construction in Europe has obviously enhanced its influence in the region, which is something the United States does not want to see. In addition, once the Helsinki-Tallinn subsea tunnel is completed, it will greatly promote economic exchanges and personnel exchanges between Finland and Estonia, and promote the process of economic integration in the Nordic region. For the United States, it does not want an economic center that may confront itself in the region, so it does its best to prevent China from participating. It is worth mentioning that after Finland refused China's participation in the construction of the undersea tunnel project, it decided to build the undersea tunnel itself. But ironically, for years later, the project is still stuck in the planning stage and has failed to make any substantial progress. This situation made Finland and Estonia regret their original decision. Until recently, the Finnish government reevaluated the Helsinki-Tallinn undersea tunnel project. It is understood that the Finnish government is actively exploring the possibility of resuming cooperation with China, hoping to bring this stalled project back on track by leveraging China's strong strength and rich experience. So, faced with such a situation, will China come to help? After the Finnish general election in February this year, the original prime minister stepped down and the policy direction changed accordingly. But we need to understand that the undersea tunnel project connecting Finland and Estonia is not something that Finland can decide alone. The project also requires Estonia's support and consent. This means that even if the political winds in Finland change, the path forward for this project will still be full of challenges and uncertainties. Historically, the United States has had considerable influence on this project. Therefore, China needs to maintain a high degree of vigilance when facing possible U.S. intervention again. In addition, as global inflation intensifies and labor costs rise, the $17 billion budget originally planned for the Helsinki-Tallinn undersea tunnel project now appears insufficient. Given the complexity and scale of the project, this budget is likely to fall short of actual needs. While Finland and Estonia may have support from the EU, both countries are still under significant financial pressure in the face of such huge economic pressures. The construction of undersea tunnels requires solving many technical problems, especially when operating in complex deep-sea environments. The difficulty and complexity are self-evident. At the same time, the This project may also have an impact on the local environment, which requires full consideration of ecological protection and sustainable development requirements when proceeding. Obviously, this project is fraught with risks and uncertainties. If China wants to participate in this project, it must undergo in-depth inspection and evaluation.